Hello there, Unibob speaking. The last part of my journey ended with me getting 2346 Rio by timing my first plus 12 key, which was the Theater of Pain. I got a small power upgrade from the vault, a myth track pacemaker. My item level remained the same, because I was unable to slot the new peacemaker as it was lower item level and I did not have enough valor stones and crests to upgrade it. So we start this week at the same spot we ended the last one. Plus 12 Rookery will be the first challenge. I grouped a very good team for this run. We discussed a bit of possibility to change my usual parasol route by a shroud skip of my regular pull 7, which is a group of 2 crushes and diffuser at the corner of the hallway after the first boss. And at the end we decided not do it, because the pull we need to do to compensate those percents seemed to me much more concerning than doing this one. With all that being said, we started the run. Me doing my regular big pull, getting all mobs grouped and casters kicked. But one of the rook guards decided that it will be a great idea to go and try to kill my healer, who was in a safe spot on top of the shelter, so I did not pay much attention to it because that mob can't get there. But little did I know that next moment this dude snaps on top of the shelter and starts killing the priest. At this moment I can't even taunt him from there, which in turn forces priest to jump down where he will be caught by a quartermaster frontal and die. I thought that it was it, but by some miracle I was able to survive at the tiny bits of the health bar. The rest of the run was nothing interest with occasional deaths here and there, but nothing scary. Very clean parasol skip with no shenanigans, and the rest of the run was completed by a 5 minutes and 10 seconds ahead of the timer, and I got a whopping plus 1 Rio. Then I spent some time doing world quests, completing some delves and LFR runs to get some additional cartel chips. As the result, I was able to get some upgrades and my item level is 663 now. And the next key is Workshop 12. I did experimental run with 13 key, which ended up really bad really fast. It was an attempt of the whole first rune pull with Balanced Druid and Unholy Death Knight in a squad. But, unfortunately, the Boomy died to the charges faster than he was able to cast the beam, and from here we were doomed. Lack of the DPS got us killed eventually, because we ran of control to be able to kick all the casters. The 12 key was going very good until we get to my favorite boss of the season. Infamous Head Machinist Spark Flux. And the comp was good, even this boss was feeling easy. But this boss can't be easy. Ever. When the boss was at 20%. The plant spawned. And suddenly 2 people dead. Luckily Shaman resurrected and we finished the boss. 12.5 more minutes. Very forgiving timer for the last part of the dungeon. And forgiveness we needed. As it has already become normal in this series, the shroud skip goes sideways. Monk steps too far. And we are pulling 2 packs and die. And suddenly we're 7 minutes and 30 seconds and there are 2 more mob packs in addition to the last boss that is needed to be killed. 5 minutes for the last boss. Looks good for me. Very timeable. P2, Rogue dies, no combat res. Hunter dies. 130 million HP plus a gnome at the end. A minute and 10 seconds to go. This run turned into a complete nightmare in several pulls. Luckily, we were able to time it with 11 spare seconds. Another Rookery run. Plus 13 this time. 3 deaths after the first boss. I tried to make an alternative lust pull grouping. But 20 stacks of the Eat Warriors very well. Group wipes, but we continue the run. Parasol skip at 8 minutes 30 seconds of spare timer. The run is going to be very tight on timer. And boom. I try to do the heroic jump to save a couple of seconds and mess the skip entirely as the result. Now we have full room to clear. At this moment I'm thinking to myself, the run is over. No chance in hell that we're timing it. But guys kept fighting and so did I. To compensate, I'm pulling 1 pack on top of the others as soon as possible. 3.5 minutes for the last boss. Never seen it been killed so fast in any key above 12. But we keep trying. The boss is dead. 30 more seconds on timer. I can't believe that happened. 3-minute kill in 13 key. My first plus 13 timed on this character actually. I did not even had time to realize that, I was impressed so much. plus 9 Rio. And I'm 2746 Rio. Surprisingly. But I was so unlucky with my keys, so I never got the priory up to this moment. So off record I got myself a plus 13 untimed run just in order to get my missing 300 Rio of this key, because at this point it is kind of hard already to get good people in 13 and 14 when you're 2300 yourself. The next key was going to be a plus 14 theater. And we were doing really good. One skip successful. The first boss killed. No deaths. Both mini-boss skips completed. The run is awesome. And then Gorchop happens and both Priest and me got deleted almost in the same point. Me with a buster and a healer with a jumps. We went for a second attempt, but as previously. The Priest got deleted but the jumps, which concluded our run. The following 13 run ended even faster as 2 people were deleted by the first frontal from the boss. The plus 12 run went even worse. The party was overwhelmed with the random deaths here and there so much that when we started the third wing, we were already 10 deaths in 10 minutes on timer. So, I decided to call the run at that moment. The unluck did not stop at that moment, because in the plus 11 theater I got disconnected during the first pull and the party wiped, of course. Luckily at least plus 10 was a clean plus 2 run. And I'm back to plus 12s at least. Plus 12 theater again. At this moment I'm already tired of running the theater over and over again. Lucky me. No issues this time. The key is time, we're moving on. Plus 13 motherload. Should be an upgrade. Smooth run etc. One of the easiest dungeons this season. Druid did very good job healing this run even though our Azarok kill was not that clean because I got killed by the end of the pull, because was too relaxed already as the boss was low HP. Strangely enough even at the end of the season. Even at higher rankings. People still don't know the gyrocopter part of the Razdunk mechanic. They try stay in the so-called safe spot praying to not get killed instead of actually using the most broken add-in called eyes to recognize safe spots during this fight. Sorry. I had to let that out. Relatively safe run. Plus 55 Rio to me. Second plus 13 done. I'm not trying to get to 3000 Rio as soon as possible, that was not supposed to be the goal of the series. I'm trying to get to the highest key possible for me as a warrior. Otherwise doing 4 12s and 4 13s would be much easier. As I would not try to go for those 14s and 15 to waste my time. Anyway, Brew plus 14 followed next. I'm 665 item level at this point. We started strong. Only 2 deaths up to the first boss. Everyone playing good, except of me. I'm starting to pull big stacking packs that did not need to be stacked on top of each other. And as the result at one point we were not able to kill all the barrels in time and wiped. With that our timer became very tight. One more death at the second boss. No more mistakes could be made. And sure, I did. Noob mistake not getting aggro while pulling got our healer killed and finished our run. Deserved one, I guess. In the next run I invited a pre-made group of 2 3.3k DPS and their low-rated evoker friend who turned out to be an augmentation. Did not see those in a while, luckily. Hate augmentation meta. By the start of the first boss DK was going almost 11 million overall DPS. That gave me some hope for a successful run. As we approached the room with the second boss the lust was still on cooldown, so I could not do the big lust pull that I'm used to, so had to split it in 2 smaller ones. AMD the lust was spent on the boss. DK knows his stuff. No bomb limbs into the boss this time. Actually he used it to grab the drops together. Well played from him. Evoker kept dying randomly. But we progressed rapidly into the dungeon with a very good time. And then Gigabrain moment happened. The beast started casting Final Sting to me and I was low HP. So I lost it, being sure that it'll switch targets as the cast goes through. Little did I know that they don't care and can't be lost. As the bee just zoomed around the corner where I was hiding. The rest of the fight is history. Third boss. Grouping ads, spilling the puddles at the edge of the room. Easy. For the last boss, I specifically asked the party not to blow any barrels to avoid overlaps, as I was going to do that part solo. And the team actually listened to my surprise. The key is done, despite 8 deaths. Plus 41 Rio to me. And I'm 1 dungeon away from reaching 2.9k Rio. The next 14 floodgate run was ruined by me probably. We did a regular route going the second boss first. Pulling 3 additional packs on top of the Big Mama is normal. But the part when it is necessary to pull 2 soldiers and not to pull Blood Warper is the hardest part of the dungeon. And this time I got it wrong. Even now I can't see where the mistake was made. Anyway, Blood Warper on top of the Big Mama is instant GG. But else, it was solid run so far. In turn, the following plus 13 floodgate was timed relatively easy and led us into the 14 motherload. Lucky me. I saw this dungeon as a chance to get my hands on the plus 15 keys, playing the character less than 2 weeks. Solid achievement, I must say. We were going solid. Locke and DH doing great damage and Hunter slightly behind, but more than enough to time it easily. Nobody died during 2 extractor fights. I started to feel it. Proximity of 15 run. At this point, the only scary moments for me are the boss fights. Even the Azarok, keeping in mind my last death there. And as the run went through, I was more and more hyped, as it was going really easy. Trying not to jinx it. The third boss killed. This part is mostly the healer's concern. Even though I died twice to mines like a moron, almost wiping the group. Luckily DH was able to live with mobs. Almost 7 minutes for the last boss. We can have some deaths even. At this point I am sure that that's it. These guys can't wipe on the boss. It is my first 14 timed. And a consecutive possibility to try 15. This time I was carried by the group. Finally this happened, and in such an important moment. Finally, job done. Plus 14 Rio for me, and we're in the 2.9k territory. Honestly, plus 15 Dark Flame Cleft would be a jackpot if I got, but it is a workshop. All we need is a laser-focused third boss kill and that's it. Good party composition. No underrated players. A rogue to do the shroud skip. We have it, I think. I almost died during the first boss start. But a part of that, the run goes smooth. Until the second boss. Druid messed up his dispel timings and I was getting a lot of extra damage from ticking. In addition, Demon Hunter kept dying to the boss casts. And eventually Druid was no more able to heal me through the dot and we wiped. Luckily DH suggested to do his same key. Druid apologized for messing up and we started the dungeon back from the start. This time I was more focused than ever. And the party delivered. No more random boss deaths. I rotated my defensives properly. My health bar stayed stable, no scary spikes. Even to the bleeds from the processing units. This time Cujo did not pose any threats. Mage randomly pulled 2 extra dogs on top of the boss. But even when that happened, we were able to be alive. Huge thanks to the Druid, even though 2 people died during the fight, but we were able to finish the boss with just 3 people alive. The run still was looking good on the timer. We came through the maze in sync. And reached the third boss. Here is the real challenge. And when it mattered the most, the guys delivered. Only DH kept dying to some random stuff. Druid even did not bother to rest him and thankfully rest a rogue when he died. But the dude got hit by the laser again and we're finishing this boss 3-man again. Despite, the timer is still okay. And then it's just a cinema. Just watch. 6 last minutes for you to witness. The Triumph. Plus 15 timed with just 3 spare seconds. What a good ending to the series. I wanted to continue the push, but unfortunately it was the last evening before the vault. I'm going to travel a bit before the next patch arrives and will not be able to make any more keys. Apparently this is the peak key that concludes the series. To get the completionist feeling I queued up to the random plus 12 Dark Flame to get the Warrior 3k. And pretty much that is it. Thank you everyone who was here for this short journey. Stay tuned for the next season where I'll be pushing my BDK. All the forecasts, streamers and YouTubers say that BDK is doomed in the next season. But for me it sounds like a great challenge. Bye. See you all in the next season.